Hey, how's it going? What is up, Gray? Oh, it's Snoopy free? What am I tying? Figuring that out as I go, Gray. I think I'm gonna try a little bit of another experimental little as I already started to say, I have zero clue. Gonna start out with maybe trying something new. A little bit new at least. I didn't say that word. Like a simple, whatever you call it, the bloodworms. But we're gonna try it on a jig hook. $15 viewers. That was quick. How's it going, everyone? How is it going, everyone? We're gonna do a little bit of flat iron Q&A today. All right, so I've got a size 10 jig hook here, 3/32 bead, so undersized bead, but they didn't have 1/8, so how's it going? We're gonna tie a little bloodworm thing now because I can. How's it going, Paisley? A bloodworm fly. I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out. That's crazy. That's a lot of burgers. And I think I'm gonna tie flies, not make however many burgers that is. Bloodworm is beginning life stages of a chironomid because they're usually bright red, so that's why they call it a bloodworm. I'm just gonna wait for this to. Thanks, TK. Love the support here, man. It's gonna do. It's gonna be pretty thick for a bloodworm, but so it's on a way oversized hook and a way undersized bead. Well, actually, it's a good sized bead for this, but a little bit of an experiment. Oh, this might not even fit in the chironomid box. Oh, what was that about? There we go. Now we're just going to do simple 3-turn whip finish. One, 2, 3. I don't think this flies all that great, but it's worth a little test. Now put some resin on there. I'm just going to spread that all up and down the hook. Now that we've got the resin all spread out on there, we're going to hit it with the... I use these. I can't seem to get good business, and I can't do any shipping, so that doesn't help. I would sell if I could do shipping. Because there's a lot of places to buy flies in BC. And lots of places to order them from where it's a lot cheaper. And I don't have a website or anything yet. I just have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Well, Facebook is personal, but I have Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for you to check out. Those are, you're already on the YouTube, but that's under the same name. That's crazy. Oh yeah, nice. What is there for fishing in Quebec? I've never really looked into it too much. Yes, sir. Canadians in the house. Do you love that? Well, I've never really... I assume brook trout in Quebec then, right? Never really... Never really looked into the fishing there. Oh yeah. Okay, so not really too different from... there's some spots where you could catch all those. Like, if you go the lower mainland, you could fish for bass. I've fished for them a bunch, never caught any. My buddies have. Walleye, if you go way up north in BC, and I think there's some spots around Kamloops that have walleye. They're not supposed to, and same with pike. They're way up north. I think I could get to closest pike lake in a couple hours. Yeah, we got tons of. Well, we got the Pacific salmon over here, but we do have some Atlantics. But that would be pretty fun salmon fishing. And we have some stocked brook trout lakes around here, and lots of lake trout lakes. Big Lakers. I actually have a video coming out tomorrow with tutorials for stinger hooks for ice jigging. Or not even ice jigging, but outs in my finger. Just jigging in general for Lakers and burbot. Just on a nice big trout tube. I think I'm going Laker fishing this weekend. I've gone once before and have had one to the boat, but I'm really trying to change that this year. But for here, lots and lots of rainbow trout. Lots and lots of rainbow trout. I think if you've ever watched any of my videos before, you've definitely seen me catch rainbow trout. Catch them all the time because they're native here. Well, there's some spots that they're native. Yeah, it's BC's a pretty beautiful place. And I wouldn't say the Lower Mainland's any beautiful, but you go into like some spots even there's some pretty good looking spots in the Lower Mainland, but like you go into the interior more and it's just amazing. And same with even some places on Vancouver Island. Don't mind the dogs barking. I don't know how well you can hear them. No, I love living in BC. It's pretty sweet. But there's got to be some pretty cool spots in Quebec too, eh? Mostly catch bass. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I've tried and tried in the Lower Mainland and Island have them, but like I I can't do it, man. I try. When I used to live in the Lower Mainland, I tried and I tried, and I never could successfully do it. The first time one of my buddies ever went bass fishing was with me. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. So I assume your brother's older then? Yeah, there's lots of trees to be planted here. Lots of trees to be planted because there's so many big logging operations, especially where I live, the area that I live in. But tree planting would take you some pretty cool places around here. Oh yeah. Well, older than me. Like I don't mean like old. Like I don't mean like middle-aged man old. I mean like yeah, in his 20s. These things should hopefully like destroy. Yeah, the bears here. I've been charged by a bear when I was 10. So I do a lot of hunting. It was actually my first time hunting where I could shoot something. So like first time hunting after I got my well, first time deer hunting after I got my license. But my dad didn't have a gun on him because it was a youth season hunt, so like in between 10 and 18. So the bear actually started charging, and I had my gun like across my chest, not just on my shoulder. And I tried to run and tripped, and my dad threw a water bottle at its face, and that managed to get him away. I'm not a fan of getting eaten by bugs either. I hate it. There we go. Here's just something a little bit different if the camera will focus on it. Just got some red wire and nothing too complicated. Should hopefully work. Should hopefully fit in my fly box because my chironomid box is a little bit small. I'm back for a second. I'm back for a second to share this. Thanks, and thanks for the sub. I just noticed the notification. Give me 1 second. It's gonna buffer again. I gotta leave the YouTube app to. Give me 1 second. It's gonna buffer again. I gotta leave the YouTube app to add them to a story real quick. All right, there we go. We're back. All right, there we go. We're back. And now I need to figure out what to tie next because I'm going low on hooks. Real low on hooks. I don't think I have anything in here for hooks. Nope, nothing in there for hooks. I could tie some sort of, yeah, let's do that. Tie some sort of like a tractor dry fly, I guess. So I got for this size 14 fly tying hook. And TK, do you fly fish in Quebec? And this one's just going to be like a thread body with maybe a wire. Oh yeah. No, I only started fly fishing 2 years ago. I have two rods right now, and I'm actually going to be buying another line, and I'm building a rod in hopefully about a month or so, which that'll be pretty fun. Holy, there's so much. Oh, this is some good quality hackle, and it was given to me. Yeah, we're tying some. Dude, there's just a whole bunch of random just feathers sitting in here. Ice fishing is really fun. I mean, I'd rather fish open water, but if you get the chance to go ice fishing, do it. It's something else. It can be really slow compared to open water, but there are days where it's just like insanity. There must be opportunities to ice fish in Quebec in your area though. Like I can't see it not getting cold enough there. If you're more mainland, if you're not towards the ocean, like almost, I don't know how much there'd be like around Montreal or Quebec City though. Because I don't know what it's like for lakes in Quebec. Okay, these need to like, there we go. That's a little bit more of a better body there. I don't even know what type of fish would eat this, man. This is some dumb fly that I'm tying here, but it's got to represent something. I live in Montreal right beside. Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be a pretty sweet area to live in, eh? Don't mind my sister in the background. What is Snoopy doing? Yeah, I mean, I can speak French because you have to learn it. You have to take it. Well, I can speak a bit of French because in at least at depending on the school you go to, you have to take it either all throughout high school or some it's just in like grade 8. Like that's what it is for me. Yeah, it's the official national language of Canada, one of them, so you have to. Sadly, so you have to take it at least in BC grade 4 through 7 at least I had to take it. And then I had to take it in grade 8. But a lot of schools, you have to take a language class all throughout high school. I might have to finally go grab some of that. I have some. Oh, am I frozen? It's frozen on my TV. Okay, I'm not frozen. Oh, you gotta go now, or? How's it going, anyone in the chat? Let's use that one. I was thinking of doing. Oh, I need a hook. That's what I needed. Hey, how's it going, anyone in the chat? Okay, it doesn't say. What's he doing? Oh, he can get back there. Let's hope that the trout think this is as high vis as I think it is. This one's just gonna be super simple, hopefully super good looking. Well, oh yeah, it is in this top one. I always forget where stuff is. These are like perfect caddis hooks if I had the stuff to tie caddises. I guess I was pulling a bit too much. It's pretty nicely hackled. You know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some deer hair. go. Okay, why does my TV like keep lagging? Yeah, we're good now. I'm hoping that this will actually float. Chunk of mule deer fur that's still got a bunch of salt on it. Now I need to scrape that. I really need to scrape that. That's a nice little dry fly. Dry fly fishing provides for the most fun fishing ever. I'm gonna try some sort of deer fur. A deer fur dry, but I don't know how it'll work out. Tighten that a bit. Oh, damn it, I didn't get it. I really just messed that up so bad. Hold on. How's it going, anyone that's in the chat? I'm really hoping that this will work. That this deer hair will perform sufficiently. But there's only one way to test it. That's to cut off a good chunk. Put it in the hair stacker. I don't even know I'm on the deer fur part yet, because I'm not that far into the fly. Still need to do basically the whole body here. What am I tying now? I'm going to try to tie a deer hair caddis. So, chunk of deer fur from the deer that I shot. Why'd you leave and then decide to come back all of a sudden there, Gray? That was a perfect body first try. Put that right there. Put that right there. Put a wrap around it. And then you wrap down on it. Keep tightening it. It's going to be a bit bushy, but oh yeah, nice. Let's see if I could make this any better. Like upgrade it any bit. Make it maybe a little bit shorter. Then we're just gonna there's a few stragglers that'll get trimmed, but that's a pretty sweet fly. Worked out pretty well in my opinion. Now I just need to you just put some wraps on and through there. Then you just simply pull that down, and then you just... Never been good at tying caddises of any kind. It could be much better, but I mean, it's a start. It's been probably over a year since I've tied one of these, or at least attempted to. pretty fucking shitty. There we go. That's what you do. You cut off all those. Now you wish that you didn't cut your thread off, and you go back in there, tie over all of those. And now I'm going to do something cool, and I'm going to make a pretty sick fly. And grab a feather. I'm actually like having to use my hackle pliers for this fly. It's pretty rough. But I tied a couple dries, and now I'm tying yet another dry. That's actually a pretty sweet little fly there. Imagine dry fly fishing through the ice. I'm gonna show you. It's almost similar to like a little stimulator. How's this thing not getting mold yet? That water's been sitting there for months and it doesn't smell. And it's worth a test, considering I know that caribou fur does not float, but hopefully this deer was getting its winter coat on. I'm thinking that I should tie another caddis. So that's what I'm going to do. Damn, that was scary. I think, no, none flew out. I guess I'm just that low on hooks. I have size 20s left, size 22s, size 10s, and size 12s. The 10s and 12s are jig hooks, so I guess I'm gonna have to place a big order for hooks eventually. Mr. Worldwide to infinity. I think once I get my new rod, I'm probably gonna have to do another setup thing. Probably do like a yearly setup thing. Like what gear I'm gonna be using over the season. And I might have to try and tie like a Goddard caddis. Now I'm just gonna put those little tips in there. Bam. This fly hopefully should not sink. Especially once I put some floating on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. Then I'm actually going to get my scissors wide and cut off my thread like that. See if that fly will float. Oh yeah, that floats. Could definitely float better with the use of some floating though. And it also sinks when you want it to when it gets waterlogged. But that's probably just because it has rabbit fur, and rabbit fur sinks quick when waterlogged. I'm going to figure out a Goddard caddis. Or at least attempt to figure out a Goddard caddis. I also might need a pack of razor blades. Which I think my mom probably does have some. I'll be back. I'm going to go see if my mom has some razor blades. Good news, razor blade achieved. Oh, this thing is really bendy because it's like for sourdough. Need a better razor blade for next time, but okay, yeah, this is gonna be messy. That's plenty good for what I need it for. This is a horrible Goddard caddis. Yeah, no, I'm cutting this all off. I'm trying again. I could have done much better. Oh, I'll need to clean my vise after this. Okay, I'm gonna put this other hook back in the hook thing. This is gonna be messy. Alright, so we start the thread and we tie back. Maybe I'm supposed to cut the tips off. Now we grab a thick chunk of deer hair. Gonna cut the tips off. I'm just gonna put this on here and just right like that. Let's get another clump of deer fur. Pop her on. And there we go. One, two, three, four, five. Right now it looks pretty rough. And it will probably look pretty rough when I'm done with it. But I mean, Yet another failed attempt. I'm gonna have to search up how to do this. How to tie a Goddard caddis.
We make a pair of pants that you can literally do anything in. Getting dressed shouldn't get complicated.
Just by looking at a Goddard caddis, you can tell it's going to float like a cork. And this floatability allows it to be twitched, skated, and waked on the water surface, which will oftentimes initiate a take. They can, however, be a bit fussy and time-consuming to tie. Hopefully, the procedure shown here will help to ease some of the pain. For a hook, I like a Dairiki number 305, and rarely tie this pattern in anything but a size 14, as it just seems to work. For thread, I'm going to use 70 denier ultra thread in a rusty brown to match the color of the hackle. Start your thread at the halfway point on the hook shank and take wraps rearward before snipping off the tag. The front end of the thread will mark where the deer hair body should stop and the hackle should begin. Although you can get by without it, just the smallest amount of Zap-A-Gap applied to the back end of the thread wraps will help to prevent a number of pitfalls often associated with this pattern. You can use deer, elk, or even caribou, but I believe Primo strips of deer hair are a really good choice because of the straightness and length of the hair. They also come in a range of colors. You'll find the amount of deer hair you use is extremely important and something you need to get a feel for on your own. As a rough guideline, for a size 14, start with a clump about half a pencil's thickness in diameter and snip it free from the hide. Comb out the fuzzies from the butt ends and then snip them off square. Place the clump on top of the hook shank so the butt ends reach to the front of the hook eye. Make 2 loose collecting wraps with your tying thread, and while holding the clump tightly between the thumb and index finger of your left hand, apply tension to the thread. Wiggle the clump of hair side to side to get it evenly dispersed around the hook shank. Take another wrap or 2 of tying thread and give the clump another little wiggle. Keep on adding wraps until the clump no longer moves. This means the Zap-A-Gap is set. Notice the deer hair really wasn't spun here. It was just flared around the hook shank. Because the Zap-A-Gap has everything locked in place, the clump can't be pushed down into the bend of the hook, which is often a problem. Once again, get hold of the deer hair and snip it to about a hook length. When you do this, don't let go of the remaining deer hair. Keep it in your left hand. With your right hand, push the fibers rearward and then place the remainder of the deer hair on top of the hook shank and take a couple of thread wraps to compress and flare the hair. You'll notice here the hair is spinning as I'm taking wraps, and this is what you want for this clump. Use a hollow tube, like a straw, a half-hitch tool, or the end of some bodkins, to push the hair back to that halfway point on the hook shank. Then bring your thread all the way up to that point. For the initial trimming, fairly long, high-quality scissors with micro serrations are the way to go. All you're really trying to do is square off the sides, top, and bottom. Once you have the lion's share of the material removed, switch back to your regular tying scissors for the final trimming. The idea is to trim the front part of the body into a cone shape while leaving everything aft of the hook bend untrimmed for now. Take a few wraps of tying thread forward to make sure it's contacting bare hook shank. The remainder of the pattern uses both a hackle and a quill from a brown dry fly neck. For antennae, pluck one of the longer feathers from the back of the neck. Strip the hackle fibers off to leave just a bare stem. Double the tip end of the stem over to form a loop and then tie it on top of the hook shank. Take wraps of tying thread forward to secure the quill, but leave some space on the hook shank behind the eye. Then take nice even wraps rearward to the deer hair. It's important to keep this area smooth and even so your hackle will wrap correctly. Finally, snip the remainder of the quill up close. Select a single, appropriately sized hackle feather and pluck it from the neck. It's always a good idea to double check the size on a hackle gauge. You can see here, these are right in the middle of the size 14 range. With the dull or backside of the hackle feather facing you, strip any webby fibers free from the stem. Then strip another 1/4 inch or so of fibers off just the top of the stem. It should look something like this. With the dull side facing toward you, place the bare stem against the near side of the hook and take thread wraps to secure it. Ideally, the butt end should land right at the return of the hook eye. As before, take nice, even thread wraps all the way back to the deer hair. Fold the hackle forward so the remaining bare stem lays on top of the hook shank. Then carefully take thread wraps to hold it there. Continue taking smooth wraps all the way back again. With this even foundation formed, bend the hackle back and then start making adjacent wraps around the hook shank. You can see how that extra bit of bare stem ensures the hackle wraps correctly. Keep taking wraps rearward, trying to make each wrap butt right up against the previous one. The smoother the foundation, the easier this is to do. When you reach the deer hair, pull the hackle feather to vertical and give your thread bobbin a clockwise spin to cord up and decrease the diameter of your tying thread. Make 3 tight wraps to absolutely secure the hackle. Pull the hackle feather down and back and begin zigzagging your thread forward through the hackle fibers. The closer your wraps are together, the less likely you are to trap fibers. When you reach the hook eye, take a few wraps around the hook shank to secure your tying thread and follow this up with a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. Try your best not to trap hackle fibers in the process.
Dude, this Goddard caddis is going to be the death of me.
Tying thread free. Snip the loop to form 2 antennae and then trim them off even. Give the remaining hackle tip a quick snap forward to break it off close. Now for the final trimming, which is easiest done with the fly removed from the vise. Begin by getting hold of the fly like so. Snip the butt ends off at an angle, and then make another small reverse angle cut like so. The final fly should look something like this. Until you get used to tying them, Goddard caddis can be a bit time consuming, but once you get the hang of it, they're almost addictive to tie. Each one is slightly different, and you always think you can do just a little better on the next one. It doesn't really matter though, they'll all catch trapped.
Did you know sweat from stress is actually smellier than other kinds of sweat? That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It works on sweat for stress, heat, and activity. It provides 3 times stress sweat protection. Secret works.
There's a special feeling you get returning home after some time away. one that reconnects you to your roots and reminds you who you are and where you came from.
Let's just try to put a couple cats in here.
After spending nearly 5 years in Boone, North Carolina, I thought I'd seen it all. But over the next few days, I would find just how wrong I was.
We fished a lot of the same stuff in college and wish we would have known about this.
This is a story about revisiting the place where it all began and setting out to explore hidden Appalachian streams by canoe.
Yes, dude.
Proper high country homesteading.
Can we have a Scotty P counter for the next 3 days?
This is seriously unlike anything I've seen in North Carolina.
For me, home is a tale of 2 chapters. The first 13 years spent growing up in Minnesota, and then over a decade living in North Carolina. It was in that second chapter that I discovered fly fishing, something that would shape my life in ways I never thought possible. At 18, I found myself enrolled at Appalachian State University, stepping into a town I knew little about, unaware of the profound impact it would have on me in the path I followed. During college, I spent much of my time exploring every creek and every stream I could find. It's where I honed my skills as an angler and tested the limits on how many classes I could skip to go fishing. Although I've been lucky enough to fish some amazing places around the world, Boone will always be where it all began.
Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. We actually just hit 1,000 subscribers about a month ago. Trying to figure out this whole vlog thing.
And then there's Due South Outfitters. More than just a fly shop, they've been a cornerstone of my journey. Most of what I know about technique, rigging, and, well, forecasting can be traced back to them. Okay, maybe not forecasting. While in school, Due South gave me an opportunity to work on my craft as a filmmaker while also learning the ropes with fishing the high country.
Alright, so I saw this guy slowly come up and sip the dry.
It felt like a family, and it still does. Max, who you might recognize from some of our earlier videos, has been a close friend since our freshman year of college.
I almost lost a croc earlier today over there in the mud. I wasn't in sport mode.
During that time, we both worked at Due South, and in 2020, Max became the shop's new owner. Not long after, Paco joined the team, starting as a guide while still in high school. Since moving to Utah in 2022, I've made a few trips back to the Carolinas, but never for a true high country adventure. And with summer quickly approaching, it felt like the perfect time to head back east and reconnect with the boys.
That was cool.
We just got to Boone, we just got to the fly shop. I already just bumped into a fan. That was awesome. Fellow Boone boy. But we're rolling to see the boys. Haven't seen these guys in like probably over a year. So it's gonna be fun.
How you doing? Good to see you.
This place does look different, dude.
Get busy out there.
Hey, I'm Scotty.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's a good one, isn't it?
But I don't see a whole lot of those in Utah anymore.
Quality R&D, baby.
Oh my god. Warning, this fly shop contains black beer. Fly fishing is an addictive activity. That's so good. Everything looks so much better.
So this is all new. Redid the counter. Redid. Like, this was the counter in here many, many moons ago. If you remember, I had that in my trailer at home. My buddy Kellen was like, let's make a table, you know?
This was fly shop, but it wasn't as organized.
No, it was that grid wall. So it just made it look so much better and brighter. Like in here, it feels so much brighter. You can see all the colors of everything better. He built this streamer thing to be able to hang all the nice streamers up.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna pop a little that.
Yeah.
And we got the new addition. This is the most important part.
The most important part of your life.
Right here.
Stepping into the shop brought back all the nostalgia of a pivotal time in my England journey.
That's what our stimulator looks like. He absolutely just crushed it.
Since my
What? I'm not reading that out. That's okay.
Hang out, learn, and geek out.
I'm playing it as well.
After a quick stop in, it was time to hit the water and meet up with a good buddy, Puck.
We're looking at a small boat on the go now. This is me and Max's new pet project. It's a 1979 Dinu with a fair amount of holes. But it should be cool. We just found a pretty good hole. Yeah, after cleaning it off, so it's covered in dirt.
We can fix that.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be like a little small river ninja boat.
These boys have been doing a little canoe fishing last couple years since I've been gone. And we've been wanting to get out, explore some new rivers with the canoes and kind of see what the whole hype is about.
So this has been basically the prototype for what that boat will turn into. But we've done some small upgrades. It's got a plastic overlock kit, a high back seat, which is also from Facebook Marketplace. I don't know, it used to have front and back crazy creaks. All of my fat buddies broke them. But
Shout out to the fat buddies.
kind of a cheaper kayak anchor system. It's eventually going to get, I think, a metal one on the boat on the Dinu. And then this is a dog leash we use to walk it down rapids. This has been the budget-friendly build. That one I think will get some parts. But it works like a dream, and it floats him out that much water.
You know a whole lot about canoes, don't you?
No.
First time.
I borrowed mine. Hey, let me show you about
Let's
mine.
see yours.
Got a hole in the seat
Oh yeah.
and the front seat.
This is class though. Papa doesn't have all that.
So we'll see. Hopefully we make it down the river.
Yeah.
I really drift though. I don't know why I couldn't do this.
What the fuck just happened? Dude, I don't even know.
Appalachian
I'm
Mountains
just looking at.
have like some of the highest biodiversity in like the world. As far as like different plants and insects and salamanders and all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's just a really diverse place. And you can catch trout within the city proper of Boone.
Yeah.
Which is not many places have that. Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go fishing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do the deed already.
Trying to find a tinkle spot. That didn't take long. Can we have a Scotty P counter for the next like 3 days?
I know.
We're at one.
Have my coffee. I've not been able to do the deed yet.
Alright, I'm gonna end the live now, guys. I will get back to you guys soon.